Welcome back, everyone, to the Morning Wood on the Woodward Sports Network. So happy to have you here, but some not so happy stuff. The Lions have a problem, and it's in their wide receiver cores. So it's interesting because it wasn't too long ago that the Lions were constantly getting roasted for drafting wide receivers. And now, look around. What do we have going for us? Not a lot. We've got St. Brown, and we think we've got Kennedy, and then we've already had some injuries with Tyrell Williams. It's not good. So what do you think, Jeff? How big of an issue is this for us?
Oh, it's a big issue. Anytime you have arguably the worst wide receiver core, maybe not even arguably, in the league, it's bad. It's very bad. I mean, you have Tyrell Williams, who I think he's a 2, a good 3 on a good team. It's hard because Tyrell Williams is a good receiver, but the numbers he's put up, he's never cleared over 700 yards, which is great. I mean, that's impressive, but it's not a wide receiver 1. He's coming into this team pretty much the only weapon besides TJ Hockenson. You got, Amon-Ra St. Brown, who we don't know much about, and then, of course, Tyrell Williams. So, yes, it's a problem. You want more guys you can rely on. Jared Goff, I don't even know who necessarily is going to be his security blanket. You got TJ Hockenson, of course, but when the defense focuses on TJ Hockenson, who do we got? And it's hard to start naming off guys. And you can't really reach into free agency because we've already had the talk about Golden Tate. I'm not going to sign Alshon Jeffrey. There's 2 veterans that this team should not need or want. And besides that, this team should be looking at the waiver wire and seeing who possibly they can grab that they can turn into a solid player. But it's a problem, of course. This is something that the team's definitely going to address come this draft. 2 first-round picks. There's no reason why this team should be targeting a linebacker, a quarterback, or a wide receiver in this first round because it's a problem. And if people are saying you're going to win 8 to 9 to 10 games, you can't do it with only one tight end as a receiver. I mean, you got to have more guys that can open up. And I'm not going to sit here and say Amon-Ra St. Brown is going to have immediate impact because we don't know. I think he'll be a good player, but telling you guys he's going to come in and dominate is unlikely. So you got TJ Hockenson, who I can say for sure is going to have a great year, but I can't say too much else other than that. So it's a problem. It's a big issue, and I know Adam will say something similar because it's something the fans you can't hide from. It's not looking good. It's not.
Okay, you look at the wide receiving core. It is a weakness. I don't want to beat it over the head too much. It is a weakness. Accept it. Tyrell Williams. If you want to sit up here and tell me that he's a 1, I can't take you seriously. He is a number 2 at best in a good situation if healthy. He's not a 1. What are we doing? You have Tyrell Williams, Quintez Cephas, who you'd ideally becomes your future 2. And then you have, let's say, Amon-Ra St. Brown turns out to be what everybody wants him to be, which is the next Golden Tate, the Yak King, and he's your slot. Good. You're still missing a 1. Now, Adam, what is a 1? What does a 1 do for a football team? I do agree to an extent, or I believe I should say, that just because you have a number 1 wide receiver, it does not guarantee anything. We've seen that over some of the best wide receivers in our lifetime have had 0 team success. But in today's NFL, Patrick Mahomes has Tyreek Hill. Josh Allen went from a questionable quarterback to an MVP candidate with Stephon Diggs. You need a number 1 if you want to be one of the great teams in the NFL. And the way you get your number 1 is you draft them, you blossom them, and by year 2 or 3, they clearly show they're alphas. That's simple. And then you got to pay them. Now, if you want to go out in free agency and get a number 1 on the market, if you're getting a number 1 on the market, 99 times out of 100, I promise you it's not a 1 if he's available on free agency.
No.
So it's not a 1. Tyrell is not a 1. He's acting as your 1 because you're in a bad situation. You're in a rebuild, and you need an Amon-Ra St. Brown to develop this year. You need another wide receiver that you draft next year to develop over the year following. You're in a rebuild. What happens when you get to the goal line? You're just going to run the ball down team's throat? I hope so. We'll see. That'd be nice. But you're not going to be able to throw the ball because the moment you drop back, Hockenson is getting the linebacker and the safety. So he's not an option. Tyrell Williams, what are you going to do? Run fade routes with Tyrell Williams, Cephas? Amon-Ra St. Brown? Who's running your dig routes? Who? Who's going to make tough catches in the NFL for you. There's nobody on the roster right now yet to prove they're capable of that. And the wide receiving unit is going to be not, it might be, not Adam, no, it could be good. It's serviceable at best. It will not be good. It'll be ugly to watch. And whether you like it or not, Tyrell Williams is not a 1. He's a 2 in a great situation. Maybe in a Kansas City, he would fit perfectly as a number 2. That's it. That's it.
And let me address this real quick, because us saying he's not a wide receiver 1 isn't saying he won't be our wide receiver 1. I don't think we'll have a choice. He's going to be our wide receiver 1. My point is, he put up 1K when he was 24 years old, 1K yards. He had 120 targets that year. Since then, he hasn't cleared over 70 targets. So the targets I don't think are going to be there this year. You got TJ Hawkinson. I think he'll share the wealth a little bit, and we're going to be running the ball a lot. So for you to sit here and tell me, he's 6 years into the NFL, he's going to put up 1K yards this year, then I just don't want to put my money on it. I don't have faith in Tyrell Williams. I think he's a good wide receiver. Like I said, good wide receiver 2 on a good team. Right now, I think by default he's our wide receiver 1. But if you guys want to put your faith in him, go ahead. But there's not a lot of depth, man. It's tough. If you got Khalif Raymond, who's a great returner and can be a great slot receiver for us, but if you're putting him at wide receiver 2, it's a problem. And I don't know how you can say otherwise. It just doesn't make sense.
Look, again, Tyrell Williams is a nice piece, but it's not the nice piece you take out to a fancy dinner. It just isn't. That's not a dime. You don't have a number 1. It's okay. Cool. He will act as your number 1. But he is not at his best when he's the number 1. We always said this about Marvin Jones. How good did Marvin Jones look? How nice was it to have Marvin Jones out there when Kenny Galladay was out there? Was Kenny Galladay a true 1? No, but he was borderline what you'd expect from a 1. He didn't put up 1 numbers, but he acted as your 1. And when you have that, your 2s, like a Marvin Jones, like a Tyrell Williams, really start to shine because they're not getting as much attention. They're more in one-on-one situations where they can look good. Hawkinson is, again, a very good tight end, but he's not part of your receiving core.
No.
He's not. Your wide receiving core has one proven wide receiver who at best is a number 2, and that's Tyrell Williams. Quintez Cephas, we all have questions about. Amon-Ra St. Brown. Everybody loves to rave about him, and I think it's really good news coming out. Kid's got a good head on his shoulder. He's feisty. Cool, I like that. Like that from a wide receiver. But he puts up 3 catches for 14 yards, and we're in here the next day throwing our papers in the air. What a steal. What are we doing? Kennedy?
We have some info. Taking this from Dave Burkett. So the Lions waived Craig Reynolds, which is interesting.
Yep.
And they actually have, it says their number 5 wide receiver. Broncos have traded wide receiver Trinity Benson to the Lions in exchange for a 5th round and 7th round pick in 2022. So there you
go.
it.
I mean,
Trinity Benson?
Yeah, I kind of expected they're going to make
Broncos.
some moves. I mean, but for an unproven guy, he's 24, hasn't really put up stats in the league. I don't know his collegiate stats. I know he went to I don't know where he went to college.
He's got 0 career stats.
Okay, well,
and we gave up a 5th and a 7th?
Mm-hmm.
Not sure about the 2 picks.
Are they
for him.
conditional picks? Where if he doesn't play a game, we get the picks back? I mean,
yeah, I don't know how I feel about that trade. 2 picks.
I don't know
is
enough. All I know is it doesn't make sense.
No,
I need St. Brown and I need Cephas to get as many targets this year as possible. So I can see, are they going to be good? Cephas more than Brown because Brown's year 1 and he's a rookie. But Cephas coming off a disappointing year 1, I'd like to see him bounce back. Get about 70, 80 targets. Have a catch rate maybe, 56, 58%? That'd be nice. Put up some good yards. Oof. I don't know what this does. I really don't. This doesn't make any sense to me.
I think a 5th.
This guy doesn't have a single reception in his NFL career.
That's
and we
a
gave
problem.
up a 5th and a 7th?
Now,
You know what you can find in a 5th and a 7th round? You can find a good backup running back, linebacker, corner, a special teamer. We're giving that up for a wide receiver who won't be on the roster next year? Unbelievable.
Listen, he's a rookie.
Unbelievable.
He's a rookie wide receiver from East Central University, so he's young. But like Adam just said, 5th and a 7th is a lot. I think if you would have gave like a 6th or whatever the case may be, so be it. But 2 picks for next year, especially
how do we give up 2 picks, receive nothing but a wide receiver? Can someone give me the
who
information?
hasn't played at all? Yeah,
Is that the correct information? Do we not get anything?
We got that in a 6th round pick.
Oh, he's undrafted too. This is undrafted.
We gave a 5th and a 7th. We got a 6th and a receiver.
Who's
okay,
undrafted?
I don't hate that.
Undrafted.
I hate the receiver part of it.
Yeah.
But you basically upgraded your 7th into a 6th round pick, is what you did. That's what you did. You upgraded your 7th into a 6th. Whatever.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, my goodness.
Some people in the chat are now a bit nervous for Tom Kennedy. They're saying he's getting cut unless we keep 6 wide receivers. What do you think about that?
I mean, what do you guys expect? Look at the wide receiving unit.
Yeah.
If Tom Kennedy is fighting for a starting spot on your wide receiving unit, you've got problems. You've got problems. Could he be a good gadget? Could he be good on the practice squad? I'm sure they'll keep him. But what do you have? You have nothing. Who's Trinity Benson? He doesn't have a catch in the NFL. Is he an undrafted rookie this year, or is he
2019?
2000. So 2 years.
2 years
this
ago.
is 3rd year,
And he hasn't played NFL
and he hasn't
football.
played a single down in the NFL.
That's a little worrying.
Yeah.
But he will
But
get
no,
opportunities.
it's not a worry. I could care less. He won't be on the roster next year.
Oh. So
Again, I think the move was you gave up the 5th and 7th to upgrade and get a 6th. Because Trinity Benson, how is he going to get playing time when you have Quintez Cephas, Tyrell Williams, and Amon-Ra St. Brown, unless 2 of them get hurt? Even 1. That's what you're like. Unless you really didn't like the depth you had at wide receiver, which we can all agree it wasn't amazing,
right?
Then okay, go get Trinity Benson. Maybe you see something in him that nobody else sees. He's 6 foot, 180 pounds.
He's on the practice squad for the last 2 years with the Broncos.
Wow, this move. Okay, first the Crosby move. If they waive Craig Reynolds, that's fine. He's a story.
They like Jamar Jefferson.
We saw the Cleveland Browns kid score what? That amazing kick return touchdown. He didn't make the team, and they made the playoffs the next year. Or that season, I should say. Like, there's always a story in preseason. It's nice. He'll make a practice squad. He'll make $60K a year being on the practice squad. It's a good living until maybe he gets his next opportunity. That's great. But you drafted Jamar Jefferson. You've seen the flashes. You're not bringing in a 4th running back.
No.
It's just not going to happen. He'll be on the practice squad until DeAndre Swift gets hurt, and then they'll bring him up. It's that simple.
I just want to see the man on the field. So Trinity Benson, as much as question marks as we have about the trade itself, just see the man catching footballs, and we'll determine it from there. That's all.
Yeah, interesting. Just interesting because we've been hearing so much about how Dan Campbell liked Tom Kennedy, but here we are. Nothing we can do about it now, right? But coming up, we've got to talk about Jared Goff and some comments that he made. I'm sure Adam has a few super nice things to say about it. But before we go, let's hear about one of our friends from Adam.
All right, well, guys, every Friday night, we are doing an amazing, amazing broadcast with The Prep. It's a partnership with Woodward Sports and The Prep. We're broadcasting Friday Night Lights, or we like to call it Friday Night Clash, of some of the best high school football games going on in the state of Michigan. And this week, it'll be Southfield versus Birmingham Groves. It'll be at Birmingham Groves, which is down the street, maybe 5-10 minutes from where we are here in downtown Birmingham. Come out, join us. Stick's going to be down there. Mikey, myself, Jeff, we're all going to be down there having a good time, hyping up the crowd. And, hey, we're broadcasting it live on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. You know where to catch it. When we come back from the break, like Kennedy said, somebody made comments that I don't agree with at all. And it's not that I don't agree with them only. It's really, I'll tell you why after the break.
Hi, I'm David Hall from Hall Financial. And at Hall Financial, we treat our clients like family. And our number one priority is giving each of our clients 5-star service. Our passion for 5-star service, combined with our expertise, allows us to find the best possible solution for refinancing your home loan. We take the time to focus on both the individual and the numbers. We're going to walk you through the process and close your loan in half the time of our competition. Go to davidhallmortgage.com today.